Hey everyone, Colin once again, and welcome back. And starting the spring season with another set of videos. I think I've decided some of them are I'm going to review, and I think I'm gonna start by doing three, maybe see how the way my schedule is going. Because like I said, I'm balancing all doing my Steven Seagal movie marathon, all the movie reviews I usually do with these, and on top of with work and all this stuff, and even if I have time to relax, but I'm gonna see how the way this goes. If I choose to do three, I'll do three though. But just the way that my schedule is, if I choose, I'll review. But maybe I'll review like for a couple episodes for one. If I don't, then I'll stop there. The last season, I tried to do three. I tried to review Spy Classroom, but I only got through the first couple episodes. I just couldn't keep up, with my schedule, the way my schedule is. So that's why. But we'll see what happens, though. But the first one I'm going to talk about is a new series called, what I found interesting, is called Hell's Paradise. And I thought it looked like a pretty interesting one. Hell's Paradise, which I know nothing about, though. So going into this first episode, we have our lead guy, Gabby Moru, which I thought he was an interesting character. He's a guy who kind of has complex feelings and stuff like that, though, because he's a guy who says that he wants to die. When we look at this guy, he may seem like this guy is invincible because we see him go to these different executions. First, he tries to get his head cut off, right, and the sword breaks, right, or he tries to be burned at the stake, right, but he's not. They try to set him ablaze, but he's not burned to death. They try to have these two bulls pull his legs separately in each direction and be pulled apart from the growing up, right? Or have him be boiled alive, but nothing seems to work though, right? And Gabby Moro tells this woman named Yamada his whole life story, saying that how he knew nothing from his parents because they died from when he was a baby, and he was taken by this guy, which looks like it's the same guy who's asking later on to marry his daughter, right? Because he has the same long beard, right? So I think it's assumed it's the guy who killed it. I'm pretty sure it's the guy who killed his parents and he raised him to be pretty much like a killer, right? Because we see it because his nickname is Gabby Moro the Hollow, because you're hollow inside. Basically, you have no emotion, no attachments, and stuff like that, right? We see a bunch of aftermath stuff that he's done. We see there's a pile of skeletons, or he's laying underneath a pile of dead corpses on top of him, right? And how he got to this position of being captured, because this guy who pretty much raised him to be this killer, right, said you can have my daughter's hand in marriage, right? You can marry my daughter. And he tells a story to Yamada, saying that how she's the woman he married to was been naive, and all this and that, right? To hey, take your shoes off when you come in, pray, say thank you when you're for the meal, right, etc., right? But turns out though, the story of that though, it turns out it was actually more love than expected, right? He actually, it was more of a loving experience than he told, though, because he actually does care about the woman he liked, right? He married to, and he wanted her because we get a little story with basically her father. The wife's father is an asshole, basically, because he burned her face right here, because she wanted to live like an ordinary woman, right? And basically, he wanted to have him and her, to live basically a quiet, peaceful life, right? And he wanted that for the both of them. But then when the asshole father saying that, hey, do this one last job for me, and that's where he ended up being betrayed, because he got betrayed and ended up being it was a setup, basically. That's how he ended up on that pile of dead corpses, and everyone was looking at him, and that's how he ended up getting caught, right? So, Yamada was taking this place where she was gonna execute him personally, right? But the thing is, though, everything he was saying was true except for one thing, though. He said that he had no attachments to life, but actually that was a lie. It turns out he does, though, and that's because it was his wife. he was the reason why he want the reason why he wouldn't die, because it's basically it was his will to live because of for her. Because like when we first saw he was being beheaded, he was going to get beheaded, right? We see him like tense his neck muscles up, and that's how the sword broke, right? It's basically he has a strong will to live because of for her, right? His attachment to life is for her, and so he keeps on saying himself, "Hey, I have no attachment to life. I'm a hollow man, basically." But then Yamada comes out and pulls out this scroll, which basically is a pardon, right? It's a pardon for him to be free, right? And in order to do that, there's this one quest that he has to do, and it goes to this place, the underworld, basically hell, basically. It's hell where you have to get this elixir, and she describes the place as it may seems like it's like a lot of names, like it's heaven, it's a paradise, right? It's nice and peaceful, right? But people who try to go there, they tried to go there to find the elixir. They end up coming back in a boat as a corpse in a pile full of flowers. So they wanted this. So the guy who's having wants all these criminals, right, to go there and find the elixir, and whoever brings it back, they'll get the pardon. So Yamada offers it to him, that hey, you bring this back, you'll be free, and you can be with your wife again. And so. And with Gabi Moro's his way to look, the way he's mostly wide-eyed, right? I think it was more to I like his design. I like his design, especially in his facial expressions. Like you seem like he's a guy who's a motionless man, or pretty much doesn't have a care in the world. I think it's somewhere in between where he's just just like you said, he wants to die. It's like, okay, get it over with, but. Why can I die though, right? It's like he's not emotionless, or he's not like I said, he's a guy who has complex feelings. That's basically why I can try to describe it, right? So with that said, he said he'll do it. He'll bring back a life, and he'll get to be with his wife again, right? Because like I said, she's basically because if it wasn't for his wife, he would have been the same person he was. She's the one who his wife kind of the one that kind of broke through to him, That, being peaceful, she said, what was it, everyone who has hearts, they're not broke, they can't be broken, oh, sorry. I actually hit play. I wanted to go back to the part where she said that, she said. Yeah, people's hearts don't die so easily. That's what she meant. And then all of a sudden he has this power of ninjutsu that he told Yamada for, and then he begins to lighting up in flames. Basically, he becomes like the Human Torch, basically. Now we don't see him when he did these because we see he engulfs himself in flames, and we see the next scene we see him sitting on top of the bodies of the guards. So it's just the aftermath, right? So so he said he'll do it, but Yamada's going to go with her. Is going to go with him. And so he said he'll do it, and he'll be back, and he'll be free to be with his wife again, to live a peaceful life, right? So yeah, so the first episode, in which he does all the narrating himself, mostly in this episode too. So the first episode of Hell's Paradise, I would say, was very interesting. Oh, well, that's basically what I can describe it. It was very interesting, and like I said, this character was basically has complex feelings, and basically was raised to be a killer. But when he met with his that asshole daughter, when he met with his wife, basically she's the one who broke through to him, saying, that he can. Like I said, people's hearts don't break so easily, right? So he can do this. He can just walk after this. He can just walk away from all the killing and stuff, and just live a peaceful life, like to be with his wife, and to, like she wanted to, right? Because boy, asked what the asshole father did to her is burn her face because she wanted to live like an ordinary woman. You object to that, and you get her face burned. So yeah, but Hell's Paradise episode 1. Hopefully Mel will continue to review this because there's a couple other ones I wanted to review, but we'll just see though. But other than that, episode 1 was very interesting. For a guy who says who who basically he wants to die though, but at the end he said it was kind of a lie. He does want to live to be with his wife overall. So, but yes, basically he couldn't because it was his will to live for her. Basically, the only attachment in life he has was her. So, but I'll look forward to keep watching this. So Hell's Paradise was very interesting. I've got to say that. So, but anyway, that's episode 1 of Hell's Paradise. Continue on afterwards. See what happens. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time. Later.